again, I'm John Abs, current president of Gift of Life. If I could get everyone's attention, please. Thank you. Thank you all for coming this evening to our 25th anniversary. I will very quickly run out of adjectives in describing our little project and the fantastic things that have occurred over the last quarter of a century. Back in 1985 in Arizona, there were 2 Rotary districts, and each district has a district governor. Jack McFalls was one district governor, and John Van Houten was the other. John and Jack were 2 of a handful of men who began this little project. And John Van Houten is here this evening. He currently lives in Flagstaff, and so thrilled to have him with us. I think probably the one thing we all have in common is that I think every one of you must have an enlarged heart. The giving, the compassion, the thoughtfulness, it's never ending, and it started with John and his wife Betty, who has passed away, preceded him, but nevertheless, we've continued to keep it going, and we didn't do this all as one person. It took every single one of us to keep the ball rolling. And John, I would like to present you with a gift from Gift of Life, which is a Solari cause bell. The cause being the Ronald McDonald House, which has been a great partner to Gift of Life. Many of our patients, in fact, Luis, who's here tonight, spends his time at Ronald McDonald, as have many children. So when this bell rings, along with all the rest of you who will get a bell, many of you have already received the bell, kind of an informal little tradition that we have. Hopefully that bell reminds you of those many children whose lives you restored when we repaired their congenital heart defects. So John, if you'll come up.
Thank you.
He's a great boss, I'll tell you. He's been a long time. So on the medical side, back in the early 80s, Dudley and Patricia Halpe, we were just talking at the table, were here in the Valley, and I believe what you said, it was 1981 when the cardiology group formed, and Roy Jadakin, who's also, please, as I call your name, if you wouldn't mind standing up. So we got Dudley Halpe, Patricia Halpe, Roy Jadakin, Dudley and Roy are pediatric cardiologists, and Patricia is a pediatrician. And naturally, this project doesn't get anywhere without those types of people behind it. Again, the big heart story. Fantastic people, wonderfully caring, compassionate, very intelligent, thankfully, and made a difference in so many lives. Dudley has received a bell, and we've tried to vet him as often and as well as we could. However, his wife, and just like any other couple that I know of, the wife is behind the man, and she's making a big difference there. So, Patricia, we would like you to come up and receive one of our Solari bells. And I mentioned Roy's name because Roy was in our first clinic down in Mexico. And we had no idea what we would find down there. The stories are legendary about all the children who were seen in a space probably as large as this stage. And sounds like mayhem when I hear the story, but somehow they slugged through it and were able to properly assess and give us a whole working list of children whose lives were saved, who were in desperate need of intervention. And Roy, you've been with us for 25 years, so it's my pleasure. Please come on up. Wendy couldn't be with Roy tonight, so we miss her. Also from that clinic, one of our board members, she has served in so many different capacities and has always been the person that we could count on in any sort of pinch. We wear her out, yet she has tireless energy. The ever-ready Buddy comes to mind. She's just a little bit taller than the we're talking about Maribel Guglielmo. There's no way that we could do what we do without money. It doesn't talk, it screams. And we've been very fortunate through the years to have a whole host of people who have been very kind, compassionate, thoughtful, caring, and energetic for our cause. And there's a group of people here tonight. Their leader is the head of their foundation. He's not with us. He had a conflict. But I'm going to ask the people associated with the Dry Heat Comedy Classic to please come forward, and I'll introduce them. If you just stand here in front of the stage.
We are hearing.
14 years the Dry Heat's been in existence. Try to host a golf tournament in August in Phoenix over 2 days. John, I have a feeling people looked at you in 1985 and said, "No, you're out of your mind. That'll never work." Well, these people are doing the same thing, and they're raising money on behalf of our Gift of Life children. We have Ricky Kearns here on our left, Ron Morris, Pam Collins, and Chuck Flynn. Ron has already received a belt along with Michael at one of our board meetings. Ricky, you're getting a belt tonight.
Holy
Oh.
About time his bell got rung.
I've been ringing the And Pam and Chuck, we're giving you a rose tonight. Your bells will follow. I thought Solari was kind of like Walmart. You know, they just call me out of the store and get me one, but it didn't work out. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Could I please ask those members who are currently serving on the board to stand and be recognized? Chris Gale in the back over here, Mary Bell, Dr. Paul Midman, Karen Tenius, Dr. Karen, Barry, who's out front, Barry Parrots, Ruth Howe, Chuck Flint, still on our board, Mike Burke, Robert Raskin, don't sit down, Robert. Dave and Rita Hadley. Bob and Marjorie Raskin have been extremely important to Gift of Life over the years, and they continue to support personally procedures for our children. They did so again this week. So I love you two very much, and we have living evidence of the good work that your money is going towards. So thank you both very, very much.